Hi, Dyke from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got no book to read for you. Today's book is Curious George Pinata Party from 2009. So let's get started. George was having fun. It was Bessie's birthday party. There were many new things to see and do. George heard a wind chime. He looked up. A paper animal hung from a tree. Up close, it smelled sweet. That's a pinata, said Bessie. There is candy inside. George had to hit the pinata to get the candy out. George wore a blindfold. He could not see. He saw him, but he kept missing the pinata. Steve had an idea. Patrick, using your other senses, he said, tried to follow Charky with the blindfold on. George could not see, but he could hear. George followed the barking. But the city was noisy. George could not always hear Charky, so he used his hand to feel what was around him. Click, click. Charky's collar made noise. George followed the sound. Charky hid in the fire station. George felt cold metal. It was a chuck. He turned on the hose by mistake. Everything got wet. The firefighters turned off the hose. Now George could smell a wet dog. He kept chasing Charky. Now George felt fur. Meow. It was his friend, the cat. George smelled yummy food. Then he heard Charky collar again. Click, click. George chased Charky through the kitchen. He followed the noisy collar. Soon there was less city noise. They was in Endless Park. George felt wet fur. He found his doggy friend. They went back to the party. George wanted to swing at the pinata again. George could not see, so he used his other senses. He heard the wind chime in the tree. He felt the grass under his toes. He also smelled candy. George moved to the pinata. Bang! Candy flew everywhere. Now George could use his senses of taste. That was the best one to use at a birthday party. So that was Curious George Pinata Party from 2009. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, have a groovy day. Well, another video coming out real soon.